take your time as you search for records and as you compare what you have found. You may find it easier to create a record bucket to be used just for the purpose of merging records. Watch for all of the relevant match points. If any of the elements don't line up, if you're not confident for whatever reason that records are a good match, then just don't execute the merge. Clear your bucket immediately after use to minimize the risk of mismerges. And finally, if you do accidentally merge things that shouldn't be merged, then, well, just let people know. Everybody's done this at least once. Contact Spark Tech Support as soon as you can to help get things resolved. With all that being said, let's go through an example of merging records. For this walkthrough, let's suppose that we need to catalog a copy of this book. The first thing we would do would be to search Spark using the ISBN. But if we did that, we would find two different MARC records in our results. From what we can see here, it looks like these are probably duplicates, so merging them together may be appropriate. The first step in the merging process is to get all of the candidates into a record bucket. We could add both of these using the baskets approach from a little bit earlier, but just for the sake of demonstration, we will try this one item by item. Let's open the first result, either by clicking the cover image or by clicking the title. To add this to a record bucket, click the Other Actions drop-down and then select Add to Bucket. A pop-up will appear, and now we need to specify which bucket we mean. So click the drop-down and then select the bucket. Finally, click the button that says Add to Selected Bucket. Now we need to get to the other candidate. To do that, take a look at the area here. Right now we're on the first search result. If we click Next, it will jump us right to the other result. Follow the same steps as before. Go to the Other Actions drop-down, and then click on Add to Bucket. A pop-up appears. Click the drop-down, and choose the bucket to which we want to add our record. Finally, click the button that says Add to Selected Bucket. With all of our merging candidates in the record bucket, we now go to Cataloging at the top of the screen and select Record Buckets. To load our bucket, click the Buckets drop-down, and then click on the name of the bucket that we want. Now that we're here, first click on the checkbox at the start of every row that we want to possibly merge together. Then click the Actions drop-down and choose Merge Selected Records. A large pop-up window will show. Now, once we get to this point, for any prospective merge, there are 4 steps to take. Step number 1, we need to compare the MARC coding of every record to verify that all the records actually are duplicates of the same thing. Step number 2, if any records are not duplicates, we need to remove them from consideration. Step number 3, if 2 or more MARC records are left, we choose the best quality MARC record and designate it as the lead record. And finally, step number 4, we execute the merge. So first, let us compare the MARC coding. The title information in the 245 fields, it's pretty much the same. And looking further, we can see that the ISBNs match up, and importantly, there are no non-matching ISBNs. Going to the publisher information, yeah, that's pretty much the same. There is a slight difference in Andrews and McNeil. One of them uses an ampersand, and one spells out the word A-N-D. But obviously both of these refer to the same entity. And the physical description lines up as well. The only difference is in the width of the item, but it's just off by 1 centimeter, and a difference that small could easily come from human error when measuring. I think that we can confidently say that both records are, in fact, duplicates of the same thing. Now, to be clear, you can merge more than 2 records together at once. You can merge 3, 4, 5, 6, however many you like. If we were comparing 3 or more records, and we determined that one of them was not a duplicate, we would remove it by clicking the Remove from Consideration button above the non-duplicate record. Obviously, with our example here, we only have 2 candidates. We're trying to keep things simple for the sake of the demonstration. So in this case, if these were not actually duplicates of each other, we could just click the Cancel button and go about our way. But since these are duplicates, we need to pick the best quality record. And I don't think that's all that hard. The one on the left is clearly better. So we look to the area above it, and we click the Use as Lead Record button. Finally, it is time to execute the merge. So click the Merge button. A new browser tab will open up, showing the newly combined MARC record. All of the holdings from all records that were combined will be displayed down here. The last step is to empty our record bucket. So go back to the other browser tab. Each of the rows should still be selected. We go to the Actions drop-down, and then we click on Remove Selected Records from Bucket. And, well, that should do it.